So this is C6. We're going to turn C6 into C6A in just a second, but before we do that, I want to show you guys how I created a C6. A lot of you probably started with L enter and actually created lines for all of this, which is fine. I'm just going to show you kind of a quicker way to have done this. Not only that, but some of you I know struggle with trying to start the drawing with 1, 1, and right here is 1, 1. What some of you did was start at 1, 1, you went over 1 3/4, and you started at this point, which was smart too. But let me show you, going into AutoCAD, how I created this drawing. So I started with a rectangle, and then I offset lines, offset more lines, was able to trim. I was able to leave one line because I wanted to use that to offset some more. Offset, trim, delete a line, and I'm done. So as you can see, this sometimes is a faster way by using rectangle, explode, and offset and then trim. You'll use that for a lot of drawings in the future. So now let's look and see how do we go from this drawing to one that has a whole bunch of angles. You probably already guessed the command that we're going to use is chamfer. However, and you will want to write this down in your notes, instead of using chamfer with angle, if you look, there are no angles. All we have are distances, which that should still make sense of how we can create angles, because if I know that this is a distance of 1, I can measure from this side of the drawing over 1 and down 2 and get where this is, and then just connect those points. So we're going to look at a couple drawings, or not really a couple drawings, sorry, a couple angles. So let's start with this one. We'll do the 2, 1. So I'm going to do CHA, enter, and I need to select from the following options. So I'm going to go ahead and do distance, so you'll want to write this down in your notes, CHA, and then D for distance. And then I can do 2, enter, 1, enter. So I'm going to select this line and select this line. And that's going to give me now my chamfer with 2, 1. I'm going to do Control C to undo that, and I'm going to go ahead and do this one more time. So 2, enter, 1, enter. What if I select this top line and then this line? It's saying it's invalid. So what it's actually trying to do now is chamfer this line. It's trying to go over 2 and down 1. And it can't do that. So you have to be very careful with what you select first. So I'm going to type in 2 for my first distance and 1 for my second distance. So if I type in 2, I've got to select a line for that 2. If I look at my drawing right here, I can see that this was the line with 2 and this was the line with 1. So I'm going to do 2 and then 1. I'm going to hit enter to do chamfer again, D for distance, and let's go ahead now and look at this. So it's going to be 3/4 and 1 1/4. So I can go ahead and go back to my drawing. I'm going to do CHA again, D for distance. I can type in 3/4, enter, and then 1 1/4. Because I typed the 3/4 first, I've got to select this line first, and then I want to select this as my 1 1/4, and I create that angle. I'm not going to go through the rest of this. You guys can figure this out on your own. You will need to add dimensions after you finish creating this drawing. Please make sure that you add all necessary dimensions, which are pretty much all the ones included. Make sure you are not putting dimensions inside of the drawing here. It will be okay to add dimensions like inside. I know no one would pull them out, but it can be kind of inside where my cursor is here. I do need to have the overall dimensions for the width and the height. And the last thing that will be a little bit different than usual is I'm not going to mandate that you guys group them together. It's going to be almost near impossible to do that. Once you finish dimensioning and you've added your title block, go ahead and upload this to Schoology.